welcome to the Manteno Village Board meeting for Monday, May 6, 2019. Let's call the meeting to order, and if we could please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Boyce, Martin.
Here.
Dole.
Here.
Crockett. Geske. Phillips.
Here.
And I'm here, so we have quorum barely. First item on the agenda for tonight is the approval of the minutes. As always, we have the approval for the public hearing minutes of April 15th, 2019, as well as the regular board meeting minutes of April 15th, 2019. They've all been included in the packet, and hopefully everyone's had the opportunity to review them. Are there any changes, additions, deletions, corrections? Seeing none, I would accept the motion to waive the reading of the minutes and approve them as presented by the clerk.
Second.
Second by Phillips. Roll call.
Martin.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Dole.
Yes.
And I vote aye. Then, since this is the first meeting of the month and we have just had an election in April, we will go into make a motion. I'll need to make a motion to adjourn Sendai so we can swear in our new elected officials who are here tonight. So I would accept a motion to adjourn Sendai.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Dole.
Second.
By Martin. Roll call.
Dole.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Aye. Okay, then we'll swear in. The first person who will swear in is the newly elected clerk, Robin Beck. You raise your right hand. I state your name.
I, Robin Becker,
Having been elected to the office of village clerk
having been elected to the office of village clerk
for the village of Manteno
for the village of Manteno
in the county of Kankakee
in the county of Kankakee
in the state of Illinois,
and the state of Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of village clerk to the best of my ability.
of village clerk to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We also have 3 trustees that were elected at in the April election. 2 of them are not here tonight. Todd Crockett, Joel Geske, and Wendell Phillips. Wendell is here, and Wendell, if you will come up, and Robin will swear you in.
Raise your right hand, please. I state your name.
Wendell Phillips.
Having been elected to the office of village trustee
Having been elected a village office trustee
for the village of Manteno
for the village of Manteno
in the county of Kankakee
and the county of Kankakee
in the state of Illinois,
in the state of Illinois,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of
I
America
will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the state of Illinois.
and that I will faithfully discharge
I will faithfully discharge
the duties of village trustee
the duties of the village trustee
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Eats it out. Eats out a picture.
The other 2 will swear in at the meeting, the second meeting in May. Hopefully they'll be able to be here. We need to have a motion to go back into session then?
Yes.
So after the swearing in, I would accept a motion or a roll call for this, to continue the meeting. Okay, have a motion?
Make a motion.
Motion by Dole, second by Martin. Roll call, please.
Dole.
Yes.
Martin.
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
And
And I
Mays.
vote aye. Public participation, do we have anyone that is here to address the board?
No one this evening, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Village President's report. I have a couple items tonight. The first item is the awarding of TIF checks. At the last board meeting, we had a number of TIF checks that or amounts that we approve every year at this time. The last meeting of 1 month, or the last meeting of one fiscal year, we approved a disbursement of TIF checks from TIF 1 to the taxing bodies per our agreement with them. And then they're always awarded the first meeting of the next fiscal year. Tonight we have checks for the following taxing bodies. For Kankakee County, we have $18,597.51. For Kankakee Community College, $8,225.38. For the Manteno School District, we have $102,705.19. For the Manteno Fire District, we have $14,047.13. For Manteno Library District, we have $3,112.13. For the Manteno Township Assessor, we have $1,132.28. For the Manteno Township Road Commissioner, we have $7,405.63. For Manteno Township, we have $3,027.05. And for the Village of Manteno, $15,236.67. This totals a $173,488.97 that is being reimbursed to the various taxing bodies that appear on your tax bill per the agreement that we have with all these taxing bodies for the extension of the enterprise zone. I don't believe anyone is here tonight to collect the checks, so we'll send these out via mail, or we can have them delivered tomorrow. The other item that we do at the beginning of every fiscal year is the appointments of representatives for the Village of Manteno. So tonight I want to make the appointments for the next fiscal year. Basically it's reappointing all the people that are currently in place, but there's some commissions that have terms that end, and I wanted to go ahead and extend those terms. So tonight the village appointments that I'd like to make are for Village Administrator, Chris LaRock; for Budget Officer, Chris LaRock; for Village Attorney, Louis Kankar Limited; Chief of Police, Alan Swinford; Village Treasurer, Sheila Martin; Village Chaplain, Father Anthony Nugent and Reverend Lance Hurley; Animal Commissioner, Alan Swinford; Village Electrician, Don Edwards; Code Enforcement Officer, Ryan Marion; Village Engineer, Tyson Engineering; Enterprise Zone Representative, myself, Timothy Nugent; Metro Bus Representative, Jerry Pierce; Kankakee County Convention and Visitors Bureau Representative, myself, Timothy Nugent; Fire Inspector, Manteno Fire Department Chief. On boards and commissions, the terms that are ending and that I'd like to reappoint are the following. In the Planning Commission, Francis Smith to a 3-year term as Chairman of the Planning Commission, and George Weiland to a 3-year term on the Planning Commission. On the Police Commission, there's a gentleman, the term is ending, Charlie Frame. I'd like to appoint him for a new 3-year term. On the Police Pension Fund, Joe Grant's term is ending, and I'd like to appoint him for a 2-year term. On the Parks and Recreation Commission, William Johnson to a 5-year term. And then the last item for the committee assignments, as everyone knows, we have 6 different committees. Basically, we all meet for every committee, but each trustee serves as the chairman of the individual committees to call meetings and to set times and to run the agendas for those meetings. So tonight I'd like to go ahead and reappoint the same people that we've had in the past on the committees. So for Public Works and Utilities, Trustee Tim Boyce is the chairman. Parks and Recreation, Trustee Sam Martin is the chairman. For Public Safety and Health, Trustee Diane Dole is the chairperson. For Planning and Zoning, Trustee Todd Crockett is the chairman. For Finance, Trustee Joel Geske is the chairman. And for General Government, Trustee Wendell Phillips is the chairman. If there is no comments or questions or anybody that needs to be voted on individually, I would accept a motion to approve these appointments as submitted.
I make the motion.
Motion by Phillips,
I'll second that.
second by Dole, roll call.
Phillips?
Yes.
Dole?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
I vote aye. A couple other items I have tonight, just some proclamations. Been asked to proclaim May 2019 as Mental Health Month. Whereas the mental health of every citizen is essential to the emotional and economic prosperity of our families, communities, and businesses, And whereas mental health is a key component of every individual's overall physical health and emotional well-being, and whereas mental illness affects people of all ages, races, ethnicities, and income levels in our communities, and whereas suicide is the 11th leading cause of death overall in Illinois, and whereas mental health conditions are not only common, they are treatable, and early and effective intervention can save lives and change the trajectories of people living with mental illness. And whereas only 50% of the individuals with serious form of mental illness seek treatment, and whereas feelings of personal shame and fears of social stigma and discrimination prevent many living with mental illness from seeking help, and whereas stigma leads to fear, mistrust, and violence against people with mental illness, who are significantly more likely to be victims rather than perpetrators of violent crimes. And whereas stigma can be reduced by increasing the awareness and education of mental illness and available resources for those suffering from mental health conditions. And whereas we strive to create communities that support mental wellness by increasing access to treatment, educating ourselves and our communities about mental wellness and mental illness, and supporting our citizens as they seek to improve their mental health. And whereas greater public awareness about mental wellness can positively transform attitudes about and towards people with mental illness, making it easier for our citizens to seek help. Now therefore, I, Timothy O. Nugent, by virtue of the authority vested in me as Mayor of the Village of Manteno, Illinois, do hereby proclaim May 2019 as Mental Health Month in the Village of Manteno, and call upon all citizens to increase their public awareness about mental wellness. That will be signed and sent to the appropriate agency. Being this the beginning of the year, we have a number of these, and so the next one that I would like to proclaim is Motorist Awareness Program Proclamation. Whereas the members of the Gold Wing Road Riders Association Motorist Awareness Program of Illinois and other organizations continually promote motorcycle safety, education, and awareness programs to the general public and to the motorist community of Illinois. And whereas motorcycle riding is a popular form of recreation and transportation for thousands of people across the state and the nation, and whereas it is crucial that citizens of our city and state be aware of motorcycles on the roadways and recognize the importance of motorcycle safety, and whereas state and motorcycle organizations across this country will be conducting a variety of activities to promote motorist awareness and safely sharing the road with motorcycles, and will be reminding riders to be more visible to others. And whereas the motorcyclists of Illinois have contributed countless volunteer hours to their communities, and whereas all motorists should join a GWRRA map of Illinois in actively promoting the safe operation of motorcycles, as well as promoting motorcycle safety, education, and awareness. Therefore, I, Timothy O. Nugent, Mayor of the Village of Manteno, Illinois, do hereby proclaim May 2019 as Motorcycle Awareness Month, and encourage motorcycle awareness and safe motoring for all. This will be signed and sent to the appropriate organizations for filing. And finally, we have one other one that we've done on a regular basis, and is one of the hardest ones to read, but I will try to do it, is the proclamation for Fibromyalgia Awareness Day. Whereas an estimated 10 million people in the United States and millions of people worldwide have been diagnosed with fibromyalgia, a disease for which there is no known cause or cure. And whereas it often takes an average of 5 years to receive a diagnosis of fibromyalgia, and medical professionals frequently are inadequately educated on the diagnosis and treatment of fibromyalgia. And whereas fibromyalgia is a chronic pain disorder becoming an increasingly common diagnosis and taking a toll emotionally, financially, and socially on patients, their family, friends, co-workers, and community. And whereas people with fibromyalgia are never completely symptom-free, they are always in pain. This pain impacts every area of their life, and others must step up to fill in the voids left when all the patient's efforts are focused on just getting through the day, showing just how much fibromyalgia truly hurts everyone. And whereas the chronically ill place a larger burden on the healthcare and insurance industries and businesses that must cover the costly expense associated with their treatment, medications, and sometimes hospitalization. Whereas increased awareness and expanded knowledge of the realities of life with fibromyalgia will allow the community at large to better support patients and their families, friends, co-workers, and employers who struggle with the challenges of chronic pain disorder. And whereas Fibromyalgia Unite, the National Fibromyalgia and Chronic Pain Association, the Fibromyalgia International Coalition, and other groups around our country have joined together to promote fibromyalgia awareness and support, including improved education, diagnosis, research, and treatment. Now therefore, I, Timothy O. Nugent, do hereby recognize the needs of these chronically ill people and proclaim May 12, 2019 as Fibromyalgia Awareness Day in the Village of Manteno, and urge all of our citizens to support the search for a cure and assist those individuals and families who deal with this devastating disorder on a daily basis. That will also be signed and sent to the appropriate people at the Fibromyalgia Association. I have nothing further. Village Administrator's report, Mr. Marat.
After all that, I feel a little guilty saying I have nothing this evening.
Committee reports, Public Works and Utilities, Mr. Boyce is not here. Mr. Martin, do you want to go ahead and take his report?
Old business, nothing. New business. Resolution 19-01. A resolution approving professional services agreement with Tyson Engineering in connection with providing surveying and engineering services for the proposed First Street parking lot expansion project. Jeff, you want to talk about that, or want me to?
Either way is fine.
No, okay, across the street from Midtown Pub on First Street, there's a parking lot. We knocked down a apartment building in the past year, and we're going to expand the parking lot, and we're going to replace some sidewalks and do some tree work,
Lights as well.
etc., lighting and things like that.
Right,
So,
and I met with Trustee Martin the other day, went through that, and met with Jim today. Kind of got an idea of what we're looking for. We're going to add some lighting, add some parking, make some substantial changes on First Street. We've got some concrete that's being uprooted because the trees are getting so big that we've got to make some changes anyway. So with the expansion of the parking lot, it's a good time to go ahead and renovate that that half a block area. And at the same time, I talked with Jim today to potentially get a couple different bids. One for the parking lot quadrant, and then also across the street in front of the Shears hairdresser. There's some trees there that are getting so big they've also uprooted some of the concrete, and they're starting to bang onto the buildings. And so we're looking at possibly project one with the parking lot and an alternate across the street too, as long as we're getting prices to get some bids to see whether or not we can potentially afford to do some of the two things there as opposed to one. So this is strictly to retain Tyson to do the engineering, to get ready to go out for bids for this project. Keeping in mind, and I mentioned it to Jim too, if we can do this in a timely fashion so we can go out for bids and then get the construction done. First Street is obviously a main thoroughfare for the village, but also it's a busy time at Oktoberfest time. So if we can get this done out for bids by June, potentially construction done, so we would be done well before or around Labor Day, so we can make sure it's available for the Oktoberfest celebration.
did you write those dates down, too?
Doing it right now.
Okay, ordinance 1901, an ordinance authorizing the sale of personal property. Jim, you know that one?
It's a F-550 dump truck that we are getting rid of to purchase a new truck. It's a 2005 truck, so.
Okay. And then consideration, a motion to waive the bidding requirements and to authorize the purchase of a 2019 Super Duty F-450 Ford truck from Taylor Ford of Manteno at a cost of $54,096. Jim?
Again, that's to replace the truck that we are getting rid of. New dump truck. It's a smaller truck that we use for a lot of landscaping and quicker projects instead of using the big dump truck.
All right. And then lastly, consideration, a motion to award the contract for the MFT project on South Cypress and North Spruce Street to Kankakee Valley Construction for the amount of $116,289.50. Who's got that one? You?
Yes, that's the MFT project that we got in town. North Spruce and South Cypress are the two.
And this is the one that we're doing in conjunction with the Village of Bourbonnais.
Right, that's what I thought.
Right. So, well, our portion is not 106. The total job is 116,000, and the Village of Manteno is awarding that bid and going to pay for that, and then the Village of Bourbonnais is going to reimburse us back based on how many feet of the project deserves. So I think we're going to be getting about 2/3 of this, or 60% of this money will be coming back to us after we get it done and we build the Village of Bourbonnais.
And the last thing is, the next Public Works Committee meeting is Tuesday, 5/28/19, 7 a.m. in the Village Hall Conference Room.
Thank you, Mr. Orton. And Properties and Recreation is yours also.
We have very little, well, the last 4 or 5 or 6 years, we've done a lot of work with the park, so we don't have a lot going on. We'll have, Jim, can we give an update on Second Street?
Yep. The fountain pad has been poured, the concrete's been poured. The fireplace patio is also going to be poured, weather permitting, this week. We're going to start the retaining wall around the fountain. And the jumping pillow was temporarily open over the weekend. We had to make some repairs after some vandalism. And otherwise, the zip line and the merry-go-round's been a big hit. AstroTurf, I think, is working out pretty nice. See a lot of people's pretty comfortable, so get that going on.
And we've had discussions about expanding the AstroTurf on some of the north little areas, so I'm going to take a look at that.
We'll take a look at that as the time and money permits, and around the pillow area, based on whether or not we can even get grass to grow because of the activity. I mean, the pillow, and we might as well talk about that now. It opened up on Friday to a huge crowd, and all weekend long we had a number of people were there. The park was full. Obviously, the weather was great, but we had overflow crowds up until the time when we had some vandalism there and damaged the pillow to where it couldn't keep inflated. We've had some issues in the past with behavior there, and we tried to address that by having park rangers, and the park ranger was there over the weekend during the course of when some of the stuff took place. The pillow was full of people, and we're going to have to start putting some limitations on that, because the pillow was made to handle a certain amount of people, and it far exceeded that number over the weekend. So the rules are going to have to tighten up on the operation of that pillow. Obviously, there was vandalism that's done that the police are investigating, and hopefully that there will be a conclusion on that in the near future, and hopefully the people that are responsible for that will be made to reimburse the village and to hopefully pay the appropriate penalties, whatever that might be. But here we meet here every 2 weeks, and we do a lot of different things, and we spend a lot of money to try to beautify and to make the village a great spot, and to enhance the appearance, and we give everyone the opportunity to have some fun things to do. We certainly appreciate the cooperation that we do get from 99.9% of the people in the community. But there is a certain element of the community that obviously can't handle having fun, nice things provided to them. And we will address that, and it's probably going to hurt some people when those people are brought to justice, but that's going to happen. We're not going to allow a small group of people who can't behave and can't not do damage and vandalism to ruin it for the rest of the community. We are committed to doing whatever we have to do to make sure that the majority of the people who want to enjoy the things that the village provides are able to do that, and we are not going to let a small group of people do things that are going to destroy the activities. When you go by that Second Street over the weekend, and all the people were there, and say almost all of them seemed like they were having a good time, that's what those amenities were put there for. And we will do everything we have to do, whether it's through the park ranger program or police or whatever it has to be done, to make sure that that justice is going to prevail there, and that the 99.9% people who enjoy it and obey the rules and do what they're supposed to do are going to win this battle. It's just we're not quite there yet, but we are going to make sure that we don't succumb to taking stuff out of service because some people don't know how to behave. And the chief and his personnel are there, and the park is completely videotaped. We have everything on video. So anybody that decides to make stupid moves, you'll be able to watch them when the police come and pick you up, on television, and it'd be pretty difficult to say that it wasn't you. So that investigation is continuing, and hopefully the pillow will be repaired and operational in the near future.
Mayor, I couldn't agree with you more. I drove by and walked my dog by there 5 times over the weekend. That Second Street Park is a huge hit for nice people with good kids, and it was really nice to see. So it's a shame that happened. At the end of the day, we have a tentative meeting for May 15th, if Jim calls it, and that's all I got.
Thank you, Mr. Martin. Public Safety and Health, Mrs. Dole.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have any action items on the agenda tonight, but my next public safety meeting is this Wednesday at 7 a.m. at the Village Hall Conference Room. Wanted to put out a couple reminders. No golf carts are allowed on any walking or biking path in the village or village parks. They can also not be driven on any grass areas in parks either, except for the designated area at Heritage Park. We are receiving numerous complaints about this. Also, you must be a licensed driver to operate the golf cart. It cannot contain more passengers allowed than what the golf cart was built for. If you have a graduated DL, all rules apply to golf cart operations as well. Child seatbelt laws apply to children in a golf cart. Remember the street restrictions too. No Route 50, no Division Street except between Main and Route 50 to cross Route 50. No South Cypress Street, no crossing Division Street at Cypress either. Can only cross at Route 50 at intersections with traffic lights. If found in violation, a $100 fine or more is possible. Please be careful and get your 2019-2020 registration sticker as soon as possible. We had a great turnout this weekend for the golf cart registration at Cart and Driver. More than 70 carts stopped by to get registered. Our next scheduled registration is during the golf cart parade on June 21st, but they can stop at the police department at any time. Also wanted to mention about the Community Connections Fair tomorrow, May 7th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Leo Hassett Community Center. This is a free event for community members to make connections with various businesses and organizations in Kankakee County. Come on out for valuable information, giveaways, and refreshments. 35 businesses, organizations attending, and it's free and all are welcome. And I know last year, I know it was very interesting how people got some prizes and they were very excited about it and very informational. So, and I also wanted to remind everybody about the Lifestyle 360, the monthly, is the third Tuesday, which will be May 21st. Now I gotta get my glasses back on here. Staycation Ideas, Kankakee County Convention and Visitors Bureau. So, and that time is 9 a.m., the social time, 9:15 guest speaker, and 9:45 safety presentation, 10 to 10:30 social time. And remember, there's always donuts and coffee and good conversation. And that's all I have.
Thank you, Ms. Dole. And just a comment about your golf cart, we're kind of known now as a golf cart community, and the numbers continue to rise, and I don't know, we're over 400, and again, obviously, people enjoy it, and they like being out there in the golf cart, just like I do. But the rules have to be abided by, and just because it's a golf cart, if you're operating it on the street, the same rules apply as if you were operating a car. I know we've had a number of calls about young kids that were driving, and after the police checked it out, those young kids happened to be 16 and had driver's license most of the time. Everybody looks young to me anymore, so it's difficult to determine when you see some youth running around. But if you're not, if you are allowing someone that's under, who doesn't have a driver's license to operate the vehicle, you're in violation just as much as you are if you're allowing them to drive your car. And when if you get stopped and get ticketed, just beware that this is the golf cart is a vehicle. We are happy to allow them in town. We are glad everybody participating and enjoying themselves. But the rules need to be followed just like they would be if you were driving any other type of a vehicle. So if people are ticketed and surprised, it's you've been warned, and when people get their registrations, they're told. There's nothing wrong with going out and enjoying themselves and having fun, but we've still got to be a community that abides by the rules and by the laws, and the police department will continue to make sure that happens. And you know, I heard some comments about some of them on the walking paths. We couldn't make the signs any clearer. I know some people might not think those signs apply to them, but, you know, they apply to everybody. So please obey them. The walking paths are for the walkers and the bikes, not for the golf carts. Thank you, Mrs. Dole. Planning and zoning, Mr. Crockett is not here. Mrs. Dole, you want to do the planning and zoning agenda?
Sure. The first item on the agenda is ordinance 19-02, an ordinance amending Title 8 Building Regulations, Chapter 1, Building Code by changing Section 8-1-7, parentheses A, 2, parentheses B, fee breakdown, and 8-1-8, inspections of the municipal code for the village of Manteno. Ryan, would you like to add some information to that?
Yes, we'll be increasing our inspection fees from $30 to $35. We're just kind of, a lot of the other municipalities in the county are charged $35, and it's been several years since we've increased that. So.
Like from 2004, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a very long time, so just keeping up with the times. So.
Thank you, Ryan.
Yep.
And the next Planning and Zoning Committee meeting is Tuesday, May 28th at 7 a.m. at the Village Conference Room. And the next Planning and Commission meeting is Tuesday, May 14th at 6 p.m. at the Village Boardroom.
Thank you, Mrs. Dole. Finance, Mr. Geske is not here tonight. Mr. Phillips, you want to go ahead and do the finance?
Yes, I will. Nothing on old business, new business, resolution 1902, a resolution approving a tax increment facade renovation construction agreement in connection with tax increment financing area 1, Kerwick 2 LLC, 5153 North Main Street.
Just to comment on that, that is a facade agreement that we are entering into with Mr. Kerwick to renovate the former Sample Chiropractic building on Main Street. He purchased that a while back, and if you go by there, you'll see some renovations that are taking place inside there. And this is to help in the renovation of the outside of the facade. He's already presented it to the Finance Committee, and that's why we're bringing it to the board tonight.
And payment of bills of $254,000, $467.49, includes TIF number 1, $229,306.60. Bills authorized and paid between board cycle of $111,755,054. Finance Committee next meeting is Wednesday, 5/8.
Thank you, Mr. Phillips. General Government, do you have anything for that?
Nothing tonight.
Okay. So the items that we'll be voting on tonight on the consent agenda are as follows. Under old business, nothing. Under new business, we'll have resolution 1901, a resolution approving a professional service agreement with Tyson Engineering in connection with providing surveying and engineering services for the proposed First Street parking lot expansion project. Item number 2 is resolution 1902, a resolution approving a tax increment facade renovation construction agreement in connection with tax increment financing area number 1, Kerwick 2 LLC, 51 and 53 North Main Street. Item number 3 is ordinance 1901, an ordinance authorizing the sale of personal property, surplus municipal equipment. Item number 4 is ordinance number 1902, an ordinance amending Title 8 Building Regulations, Chapter 1 Building Code by changing Section 8-1-7 A to B, fee breakdown, and 8-1-8 inspections of the municipal code for the Village of Manteno. Under the awarding of bids, we have a motion to award the contract for MFT project on South Cypress Street and North Spruce Street to Kankakee Valley Construction for an amount of $116,289.50. We have a motion to waive the bidding requirements and to authorize the purchase of a 2019 Ford Super Duty F-450 Ford truck from Taylor Ford of Manteno for a cost of $54,096. And finally, a motion to approve the payment of the bills in the amount of $254,467.49, of which $229,306.60 are TIP 1 bills. Are there any items on the consent agenda that need to be voted on individually? Seeing none, I would accept the motion to take a single roll call vote on the question of passage of the agenda items as read.
I make a motion.
Motion by Phillips, second by Martin. Roll call.
Phillips?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Dole?
Yes.
I vote aye. I accept the motion to approve by Alman's vote the ordinances, resolutions, motions, and orders contained in the consent agenda as identified.
Make that motion.
Motion by Dole,
Second.
second by Phillips, roll call.
Dole,
Yes.
Phillips,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
And I vote aye. Comments tonight, you have anything tonight, Mr. Martin?
No. I want the rain to stop, but I'm good other than that. So, other than that, nothing.
Mrs. Dole.
Well, speaking of the rain, this is the week starting with the summer baseball and the softball league. So you'll go down Cook Street and you will please watch as you're driving because there are little kids that are running everywhere, not always paying attention. So, but come on over to Cook Street, the Heritage Park, because it's a lot of fun. It's watching the little ones play and the bigger ones, and it's entertaining, free entertainment. So.
Thank you, Mr. Dole. Mr. Phillips?
No comment.
Again, my only comments are, the summer's upon us, we've got a lot of events planned, Sarah's got a lot of great things coming up. Manteno in the summer is a great place to be, but everybody has got to make sure that, that they're paying attention. Like Mrs. Dole said, pay attention to the kids that are crossing the street, pay attention to your surroundings, treat people like you would want to be treated, and, please be respectful not only of the people that are around you, but of the property that you're, occupying, and whether you're walking your dog and making sure that you're picking up behind them, or you're jumping on the bouncy pillow and, make sure you're not bouncing into the next person. We want everybody to enjoy themselves and have fun, but we want to make sure that everybody stays safe too. I have nothing further, so I accept the motion to adjourn.
I move to
Motion
adjourn.
by Dole, second by Martin, roll call.
Dole,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Vote aye. Thank you very much for coming and for watching.